Welcome, fellow Lions fans. This is Jimmy Liao with the Detroit Lions Morning Rounds. Let's review the Bucs game. Let's start with Matthew Stafford, who had a right lower ankle sprain early in the first quarter. It looked to be a minor, mild, fairly straightforward low ankle sprain. He did not suffer any significant trauma with it. It's not like he jumped up and landed on somebody's foot. He simply took a wrong step onto the turf and twisted the ankle. He actually played one more play after that, a third down play where he dropped back without any obvious issue and threw a short pass to Amendola to the right side. He was actually ready to go on the fourth down play too before the Lions got a penalty and had to punt it. This is sort of similar to the rib injury he had a few weeks ago where he played the next play. These are all really good prognostic signs that he was able to bear weight immediately and even keep playing immediately. He missed the rest of the game, as we know. He was standing on the sideline looking to be pretty fine, though. He did not have an air cast. There was no walking boot. There were no crutches. So not really concerned about much here. No long-term concerns. The main question is, should he play in the last game of the season? We know he's got the thumb issue, he's got the rib issue, he's got the ankle issue now. The most concerning thing is if the ankle will limit his mobility. He's already not the most nimble quarterback, so decreasing his mobility does increase his exposure to taking shots, like shots to his ribs, aggravating that. Of more concern would be another concussion, which I likely felt like he had one earlier in the year, or worst case scenario would be something more severe like another back fracture, which he likely had each of the past 2 years, a transverse process fracture. So if I'm the GM, if I'm Rod Wood, who's the apparent acting GM at this point, I'm protecting my valuable assets and players going into the offseason. Really, no need, no reason for Stafford to play. Really, no reason to even win this game. It only affects draft position. So, holding him out seems like the smart move. Kenny Golladay, no practice on Wednesday. He's out for the year. Missing 2 months now. It probably does affect his contract negotiations. Teams probably do have to wonder, what is his health status going forward? How reliable is he going to be going forward? Other injury news, Vaitai started at right tackle against the Bucs. This was surprising to me because over the past few years, Lions players have typically missed one game due to a concussion, and he got the concussion 6 days before the Bucs game, which was on Saturday. He was actually up to a full practice by Thursday, which seems very quick to already be clearing through the concussion protocol. But he played 100% of snaps, looked fine. Of good news was his left foot, which has been bothering him much of the year, did not seem to be affecting him, and he looked like he was playing pretty well this game. So that's a real good sign going into the offseason. Other news on the injury report, Jamie Collins, no practice with the neck. Joe Dahl with a back. Tyrell Crosby ankle, Frank Ragnow with the throat. There's been reports that it's looking positive for Frank Ragnow. He's already up to a limited practice on Wednesday. He may be able to play. Again, if I'm the GM, do I want to just sit these guys for the last game of the season? Jamie Collins, Frank Ragnow, Tyrell Crosby, these are all important guys going into the offseason, going into next year. So I'm just protecting these guys. I'm treating this 16th game as a preseason game where you don't expose valuable players to a possible injury risk that could affect the offseason and even affect next year. Now, coming into the game, there were some COVID-related issues. Darrell Bevel, Corey Undling, and a few more of the coaches were out due to COVID. Fortunately, the COVID issue did not spread to the players. It did not affect them. Nobody had to miss the game. Now, there's been some question about whether the NFL should have postponed the game to help out the Lions. Well, I fully support the NFL's decision to not postpone the game. I've been saying this for months now, that the NFL should try to play the games as scheduled and definitely not postpone games due to competitive reasons. We've already seen multiple teams this year miss their quarterback due to a COVID issue. There's Cam Newton. There's the Broncos missing all their quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson missed a game. So to me, missing a quarterback is actually a bigger deal than missing the coaches. So when you postpone games due to a competitive issue, that creates a big-time slippery slope. Teams will start campaigning to get their games postponed all the time, and there's no way to draw the line about when you should or should not postpone the game. So that's the injury report for this week. Feel free to leave any comments on YouTube or Twitter at Jimmy Liao MD. Now, if you don't want to watch the Stafford video, let me show it to you here. Here you see, as he's stepping back, his right foot just takes a wrong turn. It just twists on the turf. He does not step on the Bucs defender at all. We'll rewind it. Go forward again. Right here. This next step. Just a mild inversion sprain, which is what causes a lower ankle sprain. Eversion sprains, where the ankle flips outward, more often causes high ankle sprains, which is more serious of an issue. So a low ankle sprain is minor, not a serious issue. He potentially could be in pain for up to a few weeks, but it should heal 100% without any long-term concerns. So here are my thoughts going into week 16 of the season. I'm not interested in wins or losses at this point. I want to treat this as a preseason game. Rest our players. We're only affecting draft position at this point. The Vikings are also out of the playoffs, so it's almost a battle for draft position. We got a tumultuous offseason coming up where we have new coach GM. So let's protect our players. Let's try to get as high draft picks as possible and just be smart about guys who are injured and play some of our younger guys. As the coaches have been saying this week, like Darrell Bevel, we released Jaron Kearse, safety, because supposedly we want to play some younger guys. I don't know if I totally believe what he's saying there. There might be some behind the scenes issues going on, but playing the young guys, seeing who can possibly be on the team next year makes a lot of sense. All right. Thanks for listening.